Hello everyone, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Fanatic and the Factual. I'm going to be your host, Olivia Pagliaro. I decided to do this podcast because I love movies. I've always loved movies, my family loves movies, and whenever I watch movies with my friends, I know this famous person, or I know that famous person, or they were in this and they were in that. All my friends were like, oh my gosh, how do you know all of this information? And I was like, I don't know, I just know movies. I just always known movies. So I thought it'd be fun to do a little podcast where someone like me who, knows celebrities, knows movies, knows like little pop culture, fun facts about the movies, would interview someone who doesn't really know movies, but we watch the same movie together and then I interview them or ask them what they thought of the movie. I kind of have the more movie style background and they're kind of just a regular person just giving me their opinions. So for this first podcast, I'm going to be talking about Dune with my co-host for the episode, Dana Vlicki, who is my roommate. But before we get into Dana's side of things, I'm going to tell you a little bit of the prestige of Dune. Dune started off as a book. It was released in 1965. Now, there was an older version of the movie, I believe, that came out earlier, but tonight we're going to focus on the newest version. Dune has a huge star-studded cast. It's Timothée Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, Zendaya, Oscar Isaac, Jason Momoa, so many people. It was supposed to come out, I believe, in 2019, but because of COVID, it got pushed back, until finally it was released both on HBO Max and in theaters October 21st, 2021. So, the production budget of this movie was $165 million, and that's not even including the marketing promotion. It was definitely a lot of money, and if you've seen the movie, if anybody else has seen the movie, it definitely was a lot of thought and money was definitely, you could tell, was put into this movie. Dune has now grossed, when I checked about a week ago, has grossed $69.4 million in North America and $292.1 million globally. This is from Rotten Tomatoes, and I know a lot of people don't trust Rotten Tomatoes, but I am going to use that as an audience score and a rating from the critics. So the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes was 90%, and then from the critics it was 82%. Now don't worry, at the end of this podcast I have reviews both from critics and from audience members, both good and bad. So you'll be able to hear from both sides what people thought of the movie. I'm gonna give you the plot first, that I know for sure, and then I'll let Dana try to explain what she thought the plot was just from watching the movie once. I've watched the movie twice, I've read a little bit of the book, and I tried to get as much information as I could because the plot is very complicated, I will say. So I'll tell you the plot from somebody who kind of read the book, has seen the movie twice, and Dana will give her point of view for somebody who just saw the movie once, and I don't even know if she was really paying attention that much. She was definitely on her phone a little bit. Basically, there's different houses under the Emperor, and they all kind of control the universe. Kind of think of it maybe as like a hybrid between Game of Thrones and Star Wars. So they all are using this spice that is found on Dune, and this spice helps them travel through the universe more easily. So without this spice, they would not be able to travel through space. So basically, spice is the most important thing in the universe, the most expensive thing. Basically kind of like gas maybe here, I would say, but worth even more than that. The Arcanins, which is one house under the Emperor, used to control Dune, used to fight with the Fremen, who are the locals at this planet. The people who lived there, grew up there. They would fight with the Fremen. It was a big thing. So for unbeknownst reasons that they will explain in the movie, the Emperor takes out the Arcanins from Dune and puts in the Atreides house. This is where our main character, Timothée Chalamet, is from. He is Paul Atreides. He's from the Atreides house. His house is very, very, very rich without even owning the spice. The Arcanins own the spice. Very rich, has a lot of prestige, and is growing very rapidly in followers and fame, I would say. And the Emperor's a little bit scared. I'll just say that. Emperor's a little scared of the power that the Atreides house is getting. So that's one part of it. We're gonna change to the second part that most people are a little confused about. Rebecca Ferguson, her character is Timothée Chalamet's mom, okay? And she is from this group of, I would say, witches, called the Bene Gesserit. So these are a group of women that have these powers. They have a voice that can command you to do whatever they say, like if their voice gets all creepy and low and they can like tell you what to do or something. And there is this prophecy that one of them will give birth to a savior who, will have the powers of the Bene Gesserit, even though he's a boy, because they're usually girls. He'll give birth to a boy and he'll be able to pick up their powers, and he'll be able to, see the beginning, the end, the future, the past, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of hinted at that Paul Atreides, and this is not a spoiler because I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, they say it in the very beginning of the movie, but I mean, maybe spoilers. is hinted at that Paul is this chosen one, this prophecy person. So House Atreides gets sent to Dune, and the Arcanins are pissed off, so they kind of sabotage everything that Atreides had to use to, mine the spice, and that's where Zendaya's character is. She's a Fremen. But yeah, that's kind of the lowdown. I can't really get more into that without spoiling anything. Let's now finally move on to my good friend Dana. Dana will now try to explain what she thinks the movie was about. I definitely saw her on her phone a couple times, and this is the kind of movie that you really need to pay attention to, honestly. I also recommend watching it with the subtitles on because it's a lot easier to understand what they're saying, because they do say kind of words that are not the English language, obviously. I do recommend, if you're going to watch it on HBO Max, definitely put on the subtitles. And yeah, let's jump right into it. Let's see what Dana says about Dune, what she thinks, and what she thinks the plot is. All right, let's get to it. So hello, here I am with Dana. Dana,
Hi.
Are you a little nervous?
A little bit.
Okay, well, me and Dana watched Dune together in our room because it's on HBO Max. And Dana, I did say this before, you weren't here when I did my little introduction. I said you were on your phone a little bit during the movie.
Whoa.
So you were though. So I really want you to. After this, kind of spoilers if anybody really cares. But after this, I went through the plot how I know the plot before you even came in. I did like a little before. So I want you to describe the plot of the movie.
Wait a minute, I feel ambushed right
Yeah,
now.
describe the plot of the movie. Do you remember?
This is gonna be like the description of like a 5th grader watching this. Not
Yes.
even. Timothy Chalamet.
Do you remember his name? The character's name?
No.
Okay.
Wait. No.
You don't?
No.
Want me to just tell you?
Yeah.
Paul
Paul.
Atreides, yeah.
I thought that was so out of character. Like all
Yeah.
these people had like cool names. I feel like, and it was Paul.
Yeah.
His mother had a super normal name too, right?
Yeah, Lady Jessica.
Paul and Lady Jessica. Well,
Yeah.
they're on their one planet. Don't know the name of that planet.
Okay.
And they're like they're not royalty, but they're
Yeah.
powerful.
Mhm.
They're a powerful family. They're like
Yes.
the father is like the emperor of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they called him though. I think it almost was
Duke.
Emperor Duke.
Yeah.
And they need they need spice because spice is like the really valuable, like not currency, but it's a very valuable resource to have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the name of the planet that they leave for, but they then
It's the name of the book.
Dune.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Wow. All right.
No, you're actually better than I thought. Actually.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. I thought you'd forget the whole spice thing, honestly.
That's what the whole thing's
Girl,
about.
I don't know. You couldn't even remember the main character's name.
Okay,
I'm
it's
sorry.
been
Go
a long
ahead.
time ago.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
so then they go to. This is where it's gonna get a little foggy. They go to Dune. Meanwhile, Paul is able to he has him and his mother are both they have these special talents or skills that not everyone else has. He has these dreams and visions and stuff where he keeps seeing this girl. But
I forgot to mention this.
Yeah, which is Zendaya.
Yeah.
But she's not actually ever an active character in the movie. He just keeps having these visions of her, and he can see that these bad things are going to happen. So going there, I don't know, he envisioned his one friend dying, but he still wanted to go anyways. The one guy, I forget his name. And then they go there, and then it's clearly obvious that they are not wanted there.
Yeah.
Right? They don't want them there.
And they're bad people.
Yeah. And then I remember them going into the dunes, trying to get the spice, and they have to avoid the worms in the sand that could kill them. And then these people, I forget the name of these
Fremens.
people. They rebel and try to take over and kill all of them.
Oh, that's the Arcanins. Yeah, with the big fat guy.
This is so impressive that you can remember all of these terms. I don't remember the
I saw it twice, and I researched a little bit before I did the podcast so I could give them a little information.
Yeah.
But
so then,
you actually did a lot better. Yeah, keep going, girl. I thought you did a lot better. You did a lot better. I kind of did the overall plot, but I want to see how much you remembered.
This is I'm so glad that you had low expectations because I'm
you actually are surpassing them.
Yeah, I just remember them, the Arcanins, them trying to take over, and they killed a lot of people that were important in the movie. I forget who all these people were, but they did.
I did say spoiler before this, so disclaimer. I said spoiler before she started, so yeah.
And then Timothy Chalamet and his mother, they are able to escape. They kill the dad, right?
Yeah.
The father's killed.
Yeah.
And then this is around at the end when I fell asleep.
You did fall asleep.
I fell asleep with 20 minutes
left.
And that's, like, all I really remember. I don't even know how the movie ends, like, actually. I don't know how the movie ends.
Basically, he runs into the Fremen, and that's when you finally meet Zendaya. Did you meet Zendaya, or did you fall asleep before that?
I fell asleep.
Oh,
I fell asleep.
okay.
I knew that
she came in. Actually, this is another big part of what I wanted to ask you. Did you solely see the movie for Zendaya? Because I know a lot of people were upset that she was only in it for 8 minutes.
I was disappointed. Okay, so I didn't see the movie yet, but I was really disappointed when I heard from someone else that Zendaya wasn't in it. So I was definitely like, because I wanted to watch.
But it didn't, like, deter you from seeing the movie.
I still wanted to see the movie. Yeah. And because we heard that the second movie was going to be all about her, so of course I wanted to, like, see what would lead up to that. Yeah. I still wanted to see the movie, but I was definitely disappointed.
This is kind of off topic, but I have seen, like, a teaser or something. I don't know if it's true because I've only seen it once. That he, like, rips his eyeballs out or something. Yeah, his character. In, like, the second or in the book or something.
How is that, like...
I don't know. It's kind of random.
They wouldn't have filmed that already. Someone, like...
No, I think from the book, maybe. But I've only seen that once. Like, that, like, he rips his eyes out or, like, he... I don't know.
Because he, like, has the... Maybe because
visions,
he saw something.
Yeah. I just saw that, wasn't sure. But, yeah, I mean, I don't really care that Zendaya wasn't really in it that much. I know a lot of people did, though.
I think it's kind of whack that they used her for promo.
It's kind of whack.
I think it's kind of whack they used her for promo. Like, her sitting with the face of the whole movie, and then she was barely in it. But I definitely thought that, like, it was still amazing. And she actually was in it more than I thought. Like, when I heard she was only in it for 7 minutes, I thought it was, like, at the beginning, and then she was just gone. But she appears throughout, which I liked, so it was better than what I was expecting.
Well, before I watched it, my dad said that Jason Momoa's character, Aquaman, I can't remember his name in the movie, but in the book, he dies, like, at the very beginning of the book. Like, he's barely in the book. So, like, it's interesting to me that he's so in that first movie. Like, he's such a main character. He's in there more than Zendaya. But in the book, Zendaya's, like, so in it, and he's only, like, in a little bit of the book. That's because the first movie, I think, is, like, the first 5 chapters of the book or something. Like, crazy.
I was going to say, I didn't realize the whole book she was in it. I thought she was...
Like, it's just one book, and they're making the parts. So it's not like it's, like, the first book is that, and then the second book is another. Like, no, there's only one book, and then they're splitting it all up. Yeah, so, like, my dad told me that Jason Momoa died, like, so early in the book, but in the movie, he doesn't die till, like, the last 30 minutes.
Interesting take.
Yeah, so they really, like, spread out. But I think here's the thing. People were saying, like, it's so slow, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's still confusing even now. Yeah. So, like, imagine if they would have taken the, like, all of that and condensed it into 30 minutes.
Yeah,
everyone would have been like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I thought it was really well done, though. I really enjoyed it. I didn't realize some kid was talking about this in my class today. That I didn't know there was an older Dune movie.
Yes, there is an older one.
I didn't know that. I
didn't know either. When I was researching about the movie, I saw that it said that. But no, I didn't know either. But I want to tell you that the audience score is 90% and the critic score is 82%. That's on Rotten Tomatoes. Do you look into Rotten Tomatoes or anything?
My brother used to when we decided we wanted to see a movie, but I never, like, looked at it. Isn't Rotten Tomatoes, like, really hard to get a good rating on or something?
No, I mean, what movie was it? Like, Shang-Chi got, like, 90 or something. But then another movie got a bad... Eternals got a bad review, but I've heard good things about... I've heard good and bad, but I've heard, like, great things about Eternals. So I think it just depends on your preference, because I think some movies, they give really bad reviews, but people love it. I look at the audience score. The audience score was 90.
Yeah.
More than the critic score.
I can get why people think it's confusing, but that doesn't take away from the movie itself. I kept saying this to you the whole time. I was like, this movie's so, like, overstimulating to me.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about, too, because... Cinematography, basically all the good reviews that I looked up was that it's stunning piece, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. But do you think that that's all it had going for it was the cinematography? Like, if you think if it wasn't so beautiful, would it have been as popular?
I definitely don't think it would have been as popular because I think that is what made it so, like...
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the story itself is really good. Yeah. I did like the plot and everything, but I think... that's all I kept saying because it was just so in your face, like the sounds and the music, especially in the effects.
I think it's Hans Zimmer. He's a film composer.
Composer. That the whole entire time I felt on edge. And that reminds me of Interstellar. The whole time it's like the clock ticking and you just think something bad is always going to happen. No, I really enjoyed that.
Did you have a favorite shot then? And you really like the cinematography. Do you remember any of the shots? Did you have a favorite?
For some reason, that's a good question. For some reason, I remember Zendaya. She had like the whole... like
suit on, Fremen suit,
suit on, and she's like walking through and the wind's blowing and her skin looks absolutely fantastic, and like she has that thing in her nose. It's like
to help them breathe.
Yes, and then her eyes are like a cool color. Yes, I remember that being a really cool shot. Watching it a second time, I definitely appreciate it more. There was another one when Timothy's, like, standing over, like, the edge of a cliff or something, and it pans out. I can't remember what it was.
And maybe when they attacked, was it when he was with his mom?
It was towards the beginning to middle.
There's, like, 3 shots that really stand out to me. At the very end of the movie, when he kills that guy, you were asleep. But you probably, maybe you saw on social media, at the very end, he kills that guy, and then he's walking with his head down, and, like, all of the Fremen are, like, patting his back, and it's, like, in slow motion, and he's looking down. I don't know, I really like that shot. Also, at the very end, when the worm is going to chase after them, and they get to the rocks, and it, like, comes up. I don't know if you remember that shot either.
And then it, like, falls down, like, and then the whole sand, like, ripples.
Yeah, I like that shot. Yeah, it's like a far away shot. You can see Timothy and Rebecca Ferguson so small, and the worm is huge, and it's just so eerie, like, it's gross.
So you're like,
yeah, I didn't like that at all. There's something about the one shot of Oscar Isaac when he's paralyzed.
Oh, is that the
and he's naked?
The big guy?
Yeah, but, like, before that, the table was cutting off Oscar Isaac's private parts, obviously, because, you know, whatever. But he's naked, he's, like, laying, like, down like this, and he's at, like, the long table, and, like, just a shot, I don't know.
He was weird.
I know, it showed how vulnerable he was that moment, because he was, like, butt-ass naked in front of, like, people, and he's paralyzed, and he used to be this big duke. I feel like being stripped naked is very,
it's symbolic of, like, not the character
power
development.
strip, like, the clothing strip, the power strip, like, damn.
It's impressive that you recognize that, and you're like, oh, that's very symbolic, and, like, me watching this, I'm just
you're, like, naked.
I'm just, like, he's creeping me out right now, like, that's all I'm thinking about.
He's scaring me.
He was, because I'm so used to seeing him in
It's the guy from Mamma Mia!
Yes, exactly. It's
Bill, that's right. It's a Skarsgård. I can't remember his first name, but
no, it was. And I'm like, you're so massively large, like so abnormally large.
I think he was floating. I think he had like something on his spine that like made him float because he was so fat he couldn't walk.
He like went over the table.
Yeah. No, he's real.
It's all coming back now.
Yeah, it's all coming back to me. I'm gonna read some reviews, and I want you to see if you agree or disagree. Okay. And then we'll give our review of the movie, 1 out of 5. So this is the critics first. I have a couple good ones. One said, I saw on Tuesday night and I want to already see it again this weekend. So that's saying they really liked it. Another one, constantly captivating and everything from its big moments to its small details feels unique. Would you say the movie was unique?
Definitely. I feel like I haven't seen a movie like that in a while. But I also don't watch a lot of sci-fi. Okay. So, to be fair, how intense it was. Like, I'll watch a lot of, like, thriller movies, but I haven't watched anything like that in a long time. The digital graphics, like, how modern they were. I feel like I haven't watched, like, a modern sci-fi like that in a while.
This is a bad review. That's kind of funny because it's low-key kind of true. Hey, can we add more ship landings and takeoff establishing shots? There weren't enough of those.
The director, note taking.
Yeah.
That's such a casual for a critic.
I think it was longer, but I just wanted to like take the worst. And
that's
then
such a casual review.
An ambitiously stunning piece, but for all that comes in between leaves the taste of a bland, wet fish.
Whoa.
Yeah. Audience reviews are actually more cutthroat than the critics, I think.
So it's the people that know less that say more. Like, actually.
The first sign that something was about to go terribly wrong was the appearance of the word Part 1 in the title screen for this movie. Sincerely, I hope that every executive that signed off on this loses their job and has to dumpster dive behind In-N-Out to get by for the foreseeable future.
Why is your aggression so deeply rooted?
So did you think it was that bad that everyone who signed off on it should lose their job and have to dumpster dive?
I'm not trying to have a Hollywood's elite just starve. Like, what is going on?
I mean, maybe.
Wow.
And that was an audience review.
I don't know what hit them so personally. I didn't feel that personally attacked. No. Are they saying it was just horrible from the jump or the fact that it was only part 1?
It was like a long complaint. And I think that was the first part, and then the sincerely hope everyone was like a second. They weren't next to each other, the sentences. I was like, wow.
I think like just saying like wasn't your cup of tea.
Yeah.
Didn't really like it. Like that's fine. You can say that. It's not for everyone. I definitely didn't feel like Dune did anything to me personally enough to hate it that much. I didn't hate it at all.
Yeah, I liked it.
No.
Someone said, I think you'll like this one because this is kind of, I think, what you like the most. A good review. Dune is an absolute feast for the eyes and ears. Stunning cinematography accompanied by an immersive soundtrack that fits every scene like a glove.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah. Oh, watch the subtitles to hear what the actors are saying. Yes. I said that in the beginning, in the introduction, too. That I said it was on HBO Max. I don't know if it still is anymore.
Yeah, we got to.
But we saw it on HBO Max, and I saw it on HBO Max with her, and then with subtitles on, and then I saw it again with my boyfriend in theaters, and I will say it was a lot easier to understand what they were saying with the subtitles on. Because they say, like, Bene Gesserit, Arcanon, they say words that you don't know what the hell they mean.
And in the movie theater, I forgot they don't do subtitles.
Yeah, unless you're...
I haven't gone to the movie theater in so long, I forgot that they don't do subtitles.
It's a lot easier to understand with the subtitles. So, if you see it, put the subtitles on, because it's a lot easier to understand what they're saying. Now that we have these reviews, I want you to give your review 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5. What would you rate the movie based on other movies you have seen? I know you didn't get to see the ending, so that may have a big part in it.
I know. I feel like I'm kind of giving like a blind review. If I had to rank it out of 5, I think it deserves at least a 3. I think it's like a 3.5, 4. The only reason I deduct points, I think the acting was really good. I said before, all the effects and stuff. I think for me, I do think that a lot of things were... We talked about how things were spaced out.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I was waiting. I'm like, wait, what's about to happen? I'm like waiting for something to happen. And that may have also been because the music the whole time was so intense. I do think that like the action was spaced out and drawn on within parts. But I just really liked the story in of itself. All around, I think it deserves a 3.5 or a 4.
I will give it a solid 3 out of 5. I think the girl who played Lady Jessica, Rebecca Ferguson, was probably the best person in the movie. She was amazing. I thought she was amazing. I thought she did amazing. I thought she kind of stole the show from everybody.
Wow.
Dude, some scenes I thought she kind of made Timothée Chalamet look a little... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is the mother, right?
Yeah, the mom.
Okay.
I think sometimes she made him look like he's new to acting. Because he's young. And she's very, like, well-polished actress. And I think in some scenes, she kind of made him look
shamed him a little bit.
Yeah, shamed him a little bit.
Funny.
Which I think is understandable. He is a new young actor, and she's amazing.
That's so
But I think she was, like, stand out, the best one in the entire movie.
That is so interesting you say that. Like, this makes me want to, like, rewatch it again.
If you watch her, she's amazing.
I feel like also because you know so much more about film than I do, like, you notice things like that right away, and I feel like I'm just, like, such a passive audience, and you're very active, like, understand so much more. Not that I forgot about her, but I didn't, like,
Really?
It's not that I didn't forget about her, but I, like, would... Like, the whole time I've been talking, I feel like I didn't mention her, like, once.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it.
No, I thought she did amazing. I thought she really helped the movie. Because, like, she was, like, basically the second main character. I think she had the second most screen time besides Timothée Chalamet.
Why did I, like, kind of forget about her? Like,
I don't know. You were too stuck on Timothée Chalamet.
Timmy was just blinded me, like, the ignorant
girl I am. There were some scenes that even Andrew said he was, like... He keeps making the same face. And I'm starting to notice that too. But in the really intense acting scenes in the tent or whatever, he was like really good. When he was just talking straight up, I don't know, it was a little bland. At least when he was talking to Rebecca Ferguson, that's what I'm saying, in the ways that like she kind of like
he's very
overshadowed.
Simple tone,
yeah, simple tone, yeah.
I don't know if that's the way
I don't know, but like one note.
Yes.
Maybe. Which I don't think he has one note because when he was like crying in the tent and when he was fighting and stuff like that, he is a great actor. But there were some scenes where I kind of was just like, he's kind of giving bland. He's kind of giving nothing. And I don't know if that was, he's supposed to be giving kind of nothing.
Right.
Go girl, give us nothing. Give us nothing. Except your beautiful face. Right. Like, is that what you're going for? Is just because you're hot?
Yeah. It's kind of like, is that like the director's interpretation or is that his interpretation? I guess that's something you wouldn't know, but you don't know if it's like the actor choosing to do that with their character or like that's like what they're told to do.
I would say it was very monotone. He didn't really have a voice inflection sometimes when he was speaking, so it kind of gave like there was nothing behind his words.
The way he's talking just makes me think of like a different time period, if that makes sense. Like very just serious. It was like futuristic, or is it supposed to be like different? Like, I think it's like Star Wars, where it's like different.
No, I think it's futuristic. They're all human. I mean, they're witches or something. So I guess maybe it's like sci-fi futuristic, maybe a little bit, because they're all human. There were no like goblins or creatures besides the worms, which that makes like that's just an animal. Yeah. So there was nothing like there weren't any like elves or you know what I'm saying. The only thing that was
bringing the elves.
The only thing that was supernatural was the Bene Gesserit, wherever they were.
All those people that were like.
The woman.
Yes.
When she, like, put your hand in the box. Like, that scene, he was really good. Like, his acting was really good in that. So I think I'm being a little mean. His acting was really good in the box scene when he was, like, like, freaking out or whatever. But there was, like, just, like, the talking scenes, he kind of was, like, I was kind of like, give us something. Give us a little more.
Some flavor.
Yeah, give us some flavor to what you're saying. So I would rate it 3 out of 5. Top tier.
That was generous.
That was generous.
They are, they should be thankful for my 4 out of 5.
Me, sitting in Westchester, you know, knowing nothing about movies.
No, literally nothing.
They should be lucky. Well, Dana, thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thanks for having me.
Watching the movie with me and spending a little time. Maybe we'll see you again.
Yeah.
Someday. Me and you go see a movie. I know we all love talking. So, January 1st will be the next movie that we're talking about, and I kind of want to do Far From Home, the Spider-Man movie.
Oh, I gotta catch up. I gotta catch up with all of them.
I was thinking about doing Eternals, but Eternals came out a while ago, and Far From Home is going to come out December 17th, so I feel like that's the perfect time to watch it with somebody and make a podcast. I'm pretty sure it's going to be, the next review will be Spider-Man Far From Home. All right? I will see you January 1st. Bye, everybody! Hello, everyone. everyone. I really hope you enjoyed that first podcast, the first episode of The Fanatic and the Factual. Thank you again, Dana, so much for coming on and being my guest. I really hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you come back at a later time. Watching the movie with me. You know, roomies, we just love to see movies, so she'll definitely be back. The next podcast will be about Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm really excited. I'm sure everyone's really excited to see that movie. I probably won't even be able to see it until very, very late December, so hopefully it comes out January 1st. That's what I'm going to be going for. I haven't decided who co-host is going to be for the next podcast. Whoever basically I see it with, I'm going to do this review with. If you'd like to, please follow The Fanatic and the Factual on all social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. It's at The Fanatic and the Factual. And if you'd like to follow me personally, my Instagram is livpagliero3 and my Twitter is livpagliero. I don't really use Facebook. So hopefully I will see you all again January 1st. Have a fantastic month and have a Merry Christmas, everybody.